All right. Okay, so here we are, recordings going. So officially, welcome to day 3 of Your Spiritual Business Unblocked. And I'm so happy you're here. And as you've heard me say many times, whether you're here live on Facebook or whether you are watching the replays. And what I want to start, I'm just going to start with some of the comments, because before we actually got started, before we started recording, just bringing up this idea of really seeing some fun comments from some of you who chimed in on the Facebook group about what was happening for you with the clean slate process or your to-do list, which I thought was really fun. Some of you are having a lot of experiences right away. Is everything okay on your end, Lacey?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Okay.
I'm still hunting.
Okay. Okay, great. And so, I'm going to read some of the comments, and if you're on Facebook, you could put your comments in there as well about what you experienced with that. And so, because I asked everyone, how are you feeling? And one person here is saying, I'm feeling excited, and a beautiful, blessed day must have been all that clean slate I started with. To me, it makes such a difference. And somebody else said, the clean slate process was very interesting in a good way. And then being in the records, even briefly, has reminded me of how wonderful that energy is. It's great. And I'm going to just flip over to the Facebook group. And let's see, we have in the Facebook group, I loved my first clean slate this morning. I felt very calm afterwards, despite being very emotional during it. Yeah, that can happen. And somebody else is saying, blown away, clean slate connected to one of my open-ended questions. I love that. I love that. So keep doing it and do it. We're here focusing on our energy, kind of like creating openings and unblocking ourselves relative to our energy as it intersects with the energy of our business and our vision, right? Because on that first day, we talked about that gap, and we want to close the gap. And these are little tiny things that you can do to get your energy moving, to start closing that gap that you might be feeling and experiencing. And I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. But this can apply to you're frustrated with your partner, you are really angry with a family member, you feel just exhausted with the state of affairs in life and the world, whatever it is that is there for you that feels emotional or not free or not clear. It could be something that goes back to your childhood that you keep working on healing and you haven't kind of felt like you found that freedom yet. You can use it for everything. I just want you to know that this isn't just about your energy related to your business. It's, to me, a very simple and really profoundly powerful experience here. Somebody else said, clean slate helped me get back. Good. I'm not sure where from, but I'm glad you felt like you came back. That's awesome. Feeling excited about realizations. And I feel the energy, even with the intention of going into the Akashic Record that day, energy gets stronger once I'm in there. Yes, I know exactly what you mean, right? And so somebody else saying they have to play catch up as life is getting in the way, but that is absolutely fine. That's exactly why the replays are there. So now, let me just talk about yesterday. I told you I would say today what the fill in the blanks were for page 6 in the workbook. All right. Remember, I told you I would do that. So I'm not going to do it. It's not that I forgot, but I put the answers on the Facebook page. There's a post there because I thought that's going to be a lot easier than trying to have everyone find page 6 and write the right words in. So I put it in the Facebook group. You can go to it later. You'll see a post that talks about what's in there. You'll see little underlines there, and those are the words that go in the fill in the blank there. All right. I wanted to just kind of make it as simple for us today, because we actually, as every day when we're together, we're going to do a lot. And why are we doing a lot? I'm not trying to have you take a drink or a sip of water from a fire hose. I really am not wanting to do that for all of you. But what I am wanting to do, to be really honest, I want to give you a lot of value. I want to feel like you literally are learning something that's meaningful and can support you. Now, is this the be all and end all? Oh, I'm not going to do the be all and end all in 60 to 90 minutes a day for 5 days. But I want you to walk away with something that you feel like, well, there's something here. This can make a difference for me. And that's what I want for all of you. Also, I like to give you a lot. That's just who I am. So I want it to have a lot of value. And because I also know you can go back and watch the replays and really take this in more deeply. And I really encourage you to. You can go back and just watch the guided experiences over and over again. You could listen to all of it again. It'll be there till Sunday, February 26th. So you have lots of time to get through all of that. Now, a couple things I want to add in here about the Akashic Records, because as I mentioned yesterday, you know what, when people are taking a full Akashic Records certification course from me, we go into much deeper into what the Akashic Records are and how we work with them, and how we work with them specifically for ourselves, how we work with them with other people, how we work with them in our business, with our pets, and just all these other things. So what we're doing here is I want to give you enough to get you going, but there's a lot more to it than what I've said. All right. I'm going to add a couple more important pieces. And I consider one of these, the first one I'm going to talk about, it's critical. It's essential. Oh, let's do essential, not critical. Critical sounds like somebody's about to die. It's not that, but it's very, very important. Okay. You only open up the Akashic Records where you have direct, explicit permission. Period. No questions asked. Remember, this is a soul level resource. This is being in somebody's sacred space. That's how I look at it. That's definitely permission-based. So I can't be curious about what the heck is wrong with my neighbor. And because I've had their mail delivered to my house, I know their name, and I'm going to open up their records and find out what's wrong with them. So you must have explicitly stated permission from somebody to open their records. So you can't even know about somebody else in another part of the world and just out of your loving kindness want to open the records to help them out. You're not going to get in. If you think you're in, you're going to be getting something. It's not going to be their information, because this is like a spiritual permission and respect, and the respect of the sacredness of it. So of course you have permission to open your own records, so you can always do that. But if you want to open up the records for anyone or anything else, you must have permission. Okay. And permission is explicit. And meaning they've actually said yes. Not just like, oh, I'm their power of attorney, so it must be a yes. No, listen, if you're their power of attorney and they're like sitting unable to speak in the hospital, can we just leave them alone? Their Akashic Records aren't important right now, right? They're healing. They've got some other things that are a higher priority. When they're better, if that's something they want, they can explicitly say it. But in the meantime, we just leave people alone who can't explicitly say it, yes to it, and know what they're talking about. All right. And if you have any questions around that, you can pop it in the chat. Okay. So 1 second. Lacey's saying that she's not seeing it live on Facebook. If you are live on Facebook, I'm seeing comments. I'm seeing comments. So I'm assuming everyone who's chimed in on Facebook, can you just give me a thumbs up that you're there and you're seeing it and it's happening for you? Lacey, I'm just putting in. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dorothy and Justina. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you. So Lacey, I just popped in the link of where I'm seeing it. Debbie's here. Thank you for chiming in. And I don't know if that will help you see it or not, Lacey.
I can see it. I just wasn't seeing it on the main Facebook page, so I'm going to take a look into that. But the link did work, yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, so we'll just keep moving ahead because some people are seeing it and some people aren't. And I mean, some people are seeing it anyway. So hopefully the people on Facebook are seeing it. All right. Okay. So here we go. So that was the first thing. We always want permission, right? Now, the other thing I want you to know about is some people get super duper excited about working in the Akashic Records and you want to dive in and you want to be there a lot. Raise your hand if that's you. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. I want to just do it all the time, right? It's so exciting. So here's what I'm going to suggest to you. In these early stages, small chunks of time. Small chunks of time. 10, 15 minutes in the beginning. Why? You're building up your ability to work in this very high level dimension. Okay? You can get a lot done in 10 or 15 minutes. So my suggestion is start with smaller time increments and then build up. There's energetic reasons for this also that I won't go too deeply in, but you want to acclimate to working in this dimension. So start with small time increments. Get in, do what you want to do, get out. You can always go back in later in the day, but we're in the initial stages, have them smaller time increments. As you gain experience and you gain confidence in there, you actually will find yourself naturally expanding your time in there. Okay, so those are just kind of 2 Akashic Records tips that I want you to know, especially if you're somebody who hasn't had a lot of experience in them yet. So because I want you to feel successful and energetically aligned. All right. Okay, awesome. So today we're going to continue moving on with our understanding about how this interplay of our energies, which I mentioned before, our energies, the energies of our yummy business, or the yummy dream of our business, and then the energy of our vision or our mission, right? Remember on day number 1, we had that Venn diagram. That's me because I used to be a math teacher. But you know, those intersection of those beautiful circles, the center of it is where a lot of our alignment and ease and freedom and clarity come in when we are working with all those energies. Okay. And then also we want to work with these energies to start relieving this experience that we have of being blocked, stuck, doomed to failure, frustrated, feeling like we shouldn't be continuing on. We want to move those out of the way because I'm just going to say this. I know this is kind of risky. This is probably going to upset some of you. Hopefully it gives you freedom though. I actually don't believe in blocks. I don't. What I believe in is that we experience blocks. We experience that our energy isn't moving. But I just believe it's something there that we haven't figured out how to move around yet. Because if you're truly blocked, you're never going to move through it. But you've got your desire calling you forward. So I like to just literally add that one little word in there that I feel energetically changes all of it. Instead of saying I'm blocked, I'm experiencing feeling blocked. One word, I'm experiencing. I have an experience of it being blocked. It brings some optimism and hope there. And we want to know that if our vision is calling us forward, there's a way to get there. there's a way to move through that energy. And that, like I said, that's what we're doing here is it's giving you some tidbits, some, breadcrumbs here on how to move through these times where we feel like we're not making the progress, the forward movement the way that we want. Okay. So if you've been playing with the open-ended questions, if you began this clean slate process, if you've did or tried or planning on doing the to-do list experience, then you're beginning to move energies already. Perhaps you're already feeling more open, less blocked, okay? And you might even start to feel, oh, I might be able to get on track. You might feel that more excited sense of optimism around that. Today, we're going to be looking at the Akashic Records of our business. And if you don't have a business set up yet, don't worry. I'm going to give you the workaround for that so you can fully participate. But before we get into that, I want to just say that over the years, I've been working on my own energies, right? And I've worked with a lot of people in this field and industry as clients, as students, mentoring them in many different ways. And one of the things that I've discovered are really 7 main areas that we might in our business or the growth of our business, the starting of our business, where we might feel that we're stuck or we're blocked or we're constricted or we're out of step, out of time, or even out of date. And what I mean by out of date energies are this. They're old patterns from the past. And what they are is old patterns that we haven't moved on from or released yet. How many of you can relate to that, right? Like, oh, here's this pattern. It keeps coming back. I don't know quite what to do with it. Okay. So the way I like to think about out of date energies are this, that this really yucky stuff that's in the back of your fridge, the cluttered things back there, that's in the back shelf or the back of the drawer. You might not even be sure what it is since you haven't looked at it in so long. It takes up space in your fridge, doesn't it? It could be a cupboard too. It could be in a drawer in your dresser, but you might not even know, if we go back to the fridge idea, you might not know how long it's been there. You might open up the jar one day and get curious and find mold floating on top of it. And you just wonder how long it was there for, right? And once you get the guts to just pull all the stuff out of your fridge and get rid of what's out of date, what happens to your fridge, right? It's spacious, it's open. You might even see the back of your fridge. It feels better, it feels uncluttered, it feels organized, right? All of that is true. And the same is true of our older energies. They may be things that aren't relevant anymore, but they're still there. They clog up our clarity. They put, like, in my mind, like a fog over our vision. And basically they're taking up unwanted or unneeded real estate in our energetic life. Just like the long forgotten things in our fridge, these energies did serve us at one point, right? Maybe you loved those olives in the back of your fridge at one point, and then you forgot about them. They're just there. But at some point in time, you really enjoyed them, you liked them, they were relevant. And the same thing, we have energies. These ones that they may not be serving us, but they could still be impacting us. So I'm going to talk about these 7 important energies now. And we could go, I think, to slide number 2. I see. There are other things aside from these. All right. But these create some of the biggest energetic clutter in our lives. And I'm not giving them to you in any particular order of importance. I'm just sharing them all with you. All right. Now, before we start, and just so you know, you can look at some of this on page 14 in your workbook, page 14 in your workbook. pardon me, there are two main categories. Two main categories. Are you all laughing along with me tonight? I hope so. Two groups. Clearing out old energies. That's one category of important energy shifts. We want to get rid of those things in the back of our energetic refrigerator. Or the second aspect is aligning to our soul energies to create our soul aligned future. Okay. Now, I have a 6-month program called the Spiritual Business Accelerator Program. We do a deep dive into all of these. Some of these that you're going to hear about, we spend an entire month working with the Akashic Records and other things, other energy experiences. But I don't want you to get through this without at least hearing some of this. Okay. So I think we're now on the next slide, please. Right. Okay. Thank you. Let's look at clearing up older energies. So number one, money. Okay. And as you hear the word money, as you think about money, I want you to just tap in, drop in the chat how you resonate with the energy of money. The truth is, most of us love it and hate it at the same time, in some way. And especially if we don't have enough, we have some aversion to it as well as a desiring of it as well. Okay, so we have all kinds of feelings about money. And we do have these ones that are tug of war. Any energetic place that we're in tug of war, we're not going to be making the progress that we'd like to be making, because our energies get pulled in one direction and then the other, back and forth. So we aren't moving forward. We're stuck in the same place. So in order to move forward confidently in the success that's aligned with us, we want to develop, create a healthy, positive relationship with the energy of money. We want to have that with the energy of money first. So if we desire money, but we also have negative energies, beliefs, thoughts, expectations around it, then we're going to have to work a lot harder than we need to in order to make any money or make it consistently or make enough to meet our needs. Okay, so that's a really important older energy that we want to learn how to work with. The second one is our willingness to be seen or shine or be out there. Okay, how many of you, hello, have some sort of around being seen? Like, you can feel that. I don't know. I'm worried. I'm afraid. I don't want people to see me. If they do, they might criticize me. It might be dangerous, right? Now, here's the deal with this. We may have had experiences in other times and places. We might have experiences in this current time. And it's actually a very common concern, and I'm going to call it a concern. I know it can be deeply terrifying. I've had it too. I still have it now, not as much as I used to have it. And I'm also very aware of it. So I work on it all the time, this energy of being seen. I made so much progress on it, and I know I have more to go, but I've made progress on it. Why? Because I haven't decided to say, well, I'm afraid to get out there, so I must not be able to do it. Or because these things happened in the past, it means I can't ever do it. I feel we're going to knock off that nonsense right now, okay? But we want to be able to do all these changes in energetic ways that are aligned with where we are and our next step. So what happens here as light workers is we feel the call of our work, our mission, what's calling us forward through our desires and where we get excited. And then as we move towards it, that insecurity of being seen and all the different ways that comes up, we pull back. We move forward and we pull back. It's like another type of tug of war here. And so we have both conscious and unconscious energies that hold us back from stepping out fully so we can help and support those who are aligned to work with us, okay? I personally believe that there are people right now out there, they're energetically ready to work with every single one of you. Right now, exactly where you are, no matter how much you've learned, there are people right now who are energetically ready to work with you, but they can't find you because you're not out there. They're waiting. And I really believe that. That's why I also don't believe in competition, because the people who are supposed to be working with you will. The people who are supposed to be working with me will. People who aren't supposed to be working with me, they're not going to. It's just a fact, right? So why do we have these experiences of not willing to be seen? And a lot of this goes back to previous lifetimes. It could come from our family or cultural beliefs. It could be we're just, the black sheep, so to speak, not in a bad way, but we're the one who's different in our family. I think if I asked everyone to raise their hand, are you the person or one of the people in your family who's different than everyone else? Most of us would say yes. And we also sometimes this comes because we literally in this lifetime have had experiences with people being critical or disapproving of what we're doing. But no matter why they're there, we want to support ourselves in being energetically aligned with our vision. Rather than being pulled down by our past experiences, we want to recognize they're there and know that we have the possibility to work with that energy so that we can feel safe and confident and be able to follow the call of our heart. Okay, so that's important energy number 2. Now, the third one I always find is really interesting. It's just the foundational energy of success. This is a really big one because many of us want success, and success could mean that we have a full number of clients or people buying our products, listening to our podcasts, watching our videos, coming to our retreats. It could be money. It could be notoriety. No matter what it is, many of us want that because that's where we feel like we're going to be satisfied, but we also pull away with it because we might have some really deep beliefs about our lives and our energy when success actually comes. So one of the things that I feel is really important, and in the Spiritual Business Accelerator program, this again is one of the things that we spend an entire month working with, is we have to learn what success means for us personally. I worked with so many people and they don't have a grounded idea of what success means. You get to define that for yourself. The world doesn't define it for you. You get to define what success is for you. Success for you could mean I have just enough money and plenty of free time, right? Success for you could be reaching a certain money milestone. Success for you could be having a full client calendar, no matter how many people that is. But we also need, this is something people don't generally talk about. We need to learn how to energetically plan for success. How many of you is that a new concept for? Plan for your success. And the way we plan for it is have a sense of what we want it to be. And then when we have a sense of what we want it to be, we know what direction we're heading. We also know when we're there. If we don't have any idea about what the energy of success means for us, we won't even know that we've arrived. But it has to be not based on what the external world says is success. You get to define it for yourself. Okay. And I mean, I just love that. Like, what is success for you? It's such an important energy. And then planning for it, because there's an aspect of success that we go deeper to in this later, but I want to bring this up. Many people feel that in order to be successful, they're going to lose themselves. They're not going to be able to have the personal life they want. They're going to be swallowed up by a tidal wave, and they're not going to have any control of their life. They'll be out of balance. How many of you can relate to that or feel some of that? If I'm successful, it means I'm not going to have all the free time I like to have. Right. And there's a comment here is I've had a business before and I've already experienced all these feelings and I'm ready for something new. Right. And if we've been in situations where our success came with a price, what we want to do is not retract from success, but decide that we know how to, that we can navigate our way into success so it doesn't become problematic. Really important, really important. In my mind, it's important. And I love working with these energies to figure out what these things are. Now let's look at the second category here. Oh, wait, I have how we abandon ourselves. Sorry. We have to start working. Oh gosh, this is so big. I have a whole course on healing self-abandonment. Oh my gosh. I'm so passionate about it. I spent about a year and a half or 2 years literally going into my Akashic Records most days. I won't say every day, most days. I went really after self-abandonment because we've all done it. You know, come on in, the water's fine. It's a big topic. This dovetails into early childhood wounds, early trauma, reclaiming our inner child, okay? And we want to learn how to not abandon ourselves, stay fully with ourselves in our present moment, in our physical bodies, because again, we all abandon ourselves. But the other side of self-abandonment is this. It's the ability to be fully present and showing up for ourselves, aware of what we need, loving ourselves exactly where we are right now. So these are really important energies that we want to learn how to work with and be with to be able to feel that we have the capacity to move forward very confidently in an empowered way, not an overpowering way, in an empowered way, that calm center where you know, I'm here to do this and I'm willing to do this, and the success will come and the money will come. Like it will all be in balance. Okay, so let's go to the next section of these where we talk about aligning with our soul's energy. This is the second category of this. The first four things I was talking about were ways we want to clear out the older energies that are there, kind of like cleaning the cobwebs or going to the back of your fridge and pulling everything out, or going to that closet that has things in the shelf that you don't know how long they've been there for, right? So we want to talk about aligning with our soul energies. Now, the first thing, and I just love this, Lacey, could we go to the next slide, please? When we're aligning with our soul energies, we want to open up to what our highest potential is. We all have a highest potential within ourselves. I view it as an energy field that we literally can tap into. And as we tap into it, it will support us in flowing in the directions that we choose when we came here. And it's very, our highest potential is always aligned with our mission and our purpose. And I do this all the time in my Akashic Records, and it's where you actually begin to connect with and collaborate with the energy of your highest potential. And it supports you. I feel like it brings me the vibration of my highest potential, so I'm embodying it more, and it supports my forward energetic movement. And so in this case, it's not about clearing out anything old, but it's getting energetically aligned to the energy and the potential of my life. And when I choose to align with the energies of my highest potential, and you can experience this too, you more easily move towards it and you make choices aligned with it because you're not waiting for it. Most of us are waiting for success and then we'll feel successful. We're waiting for money and we're waiting for it to show up and then we will trust money. We wait for our potential to show up, then we'll say, oh, here it is. But we can reverse these things. So I do this again all the time in my Akashic Records. I asked to connect with the energy of my highest potential. And I just sit with it and align with it. So it's really fun because I'm also somebody who, and I know I said this on the first day, I'm tired of always healing something that's wrong with me. I think we all get tired from that, don't we? Like, oh, I just cleared that thing out. We don't even have time to enjoy it because we're on to the next thing that's showing up. So these are very positive, proactive, forward-moving ways that we can work with energies to help us move forward. It's not always cleaning out the closet, okay? Now, the next thing is your soul-aligned vision. And vision ties into all of these topics, and I've said vision so many times since we started, and I will keep saying it, because what we want to be able to do is create a soul-aligned vision. And when we create and understand, know, and feel, and we're connected with our soul-aligned vision, it's helping us move forward. And the key with this is we want to be able to connect with our vision, not somebody else's vision of what it might be like for us or what might be right for us. Just like our highest potential, getting clear on the energy of what our soul-aligned vision is, and then allow that to help you move forward, means you don't always have to be clearing out the past and waiting to move forward. Whether I've been no matter what I've been talking about tonight, how many of you have been waiting for something? Waiting is such a powerful energy, and for light workers, I'm waiting for this and then I can have it. I'm waiting for the money. I'm waiting for the success. I'm waiting for the clients. Waiting is hard. We want to end the waiting, okay? Now, the next piece of this energy that I want to talk about is something called Kaizen, and some of you may have heard it. There's even a little book about it. I'm just looking over here on my bookshelf. It's not in this room. It's actually a Japanese concept, and it incorporates the idea. It's actually used in a lot of industry. In Japan, it actually started as a concept here in the United States. It was here and it kind of faded away, but in the Japanese culture, they just embraced it and they use it a lot in industry. And it incorporates the idea that the way you make meaningful change is in small steps. This keeps us out of overwhelm. So these are small, what I call small soul-aligned steps, right? Keeps us out of overwhelm when we do small, doable steps that we know are taking us towards our highest potential, towards our vision. We aren't going to try to leap across the Grand Canyon. We're going to build a small, doable bridge. And tomorrow we're going to talk about Kaizen more and how you can implement that idea using the Akashic Records and the forward progress in your business, okay? All right, so if you have any questions, I'm going to just check in with the chat and see how things are going. Let's see. Yeah, so I love this comment. I'm afraid if I have too much success, I won't appreciate life as much, right? And what I love about that is your awareness. And I talked about this the first night, right? We're not going to do anything without being aware. So the awareness, like, wow, I believe right now where I'm at, if success is here, I'm not going to appreciate my life. So in order to appreciate my life, I can't be successful. What we want to do, no matter what limitation or what awareness we have, is what if they can coexist? What if you can appreciate your life as much or even more and be successful at the same time? I love and connects things and allows them to coexist. So they don't have to be either or. So great awareness. Somebody else says, I don't love money or hate it. In this life, you have to have it in order to live. But for some reason in this life with my business, I was always having to fight for what I or we needed. It was so exhausting. Right. So as you play or open to what the energy of money means for you, you can look at it and think, why do I believe that I have to fight for money? Now, you could say it was my experience, but if that's the experience that's brought up that belief, we want to unpack that, don't we? And get to the place where we say, and here's an open-ended question, all right? What if I can receive more than enough money without fighting for it? What if it's easy? What if there's no fight? How many of you love that idea? Right? Waiting is hard. It sure is. And somebody's saying, this is my first step. Awesome. The chat keeps flipping around here. Huge aha that if I feel like I don't have my life anymore, that is not success. Absolutely true. For me, money's a tool. Seeing money as a tool, or I like to see it, it's an energy, and I get to make up what I want about it as an energy. Yeah, absolutely. I create my version of what success is, right? Can we sit with the intention to clear or align with these energies? Yes, while you're in the Akashic Records, you can. You absolutely can. And I'm learning so much and seeing things about myself and my choices. Great. And I'm just checking in with the Facebook chat here. Waiting's exhausting. It is. Because you know what waiting is? It's energy in the future. It's not now. That's why it's exhausting, because you're holding the space for something that's not now. Would love to hear more about the highest potential description. Yeah, we'll get to that. Maybe I'll somebody else remind me. Somebody is going to be good at reminding me about these things. When I do another Wellspring Live, which happens every Friday in the Conscious Conversations group, somebody remind me to do one of those Fridays coming up on highest potential. I'd love to talk about that. And then love the Kaizen reminder. It's about balance. It is very much so. I love Kaizen as a concept, as an energy. When I first learned about it years ago, I just like, oh my gosh, I love this. Like being given permission to do things in small ways that get you where you want to go. We don't have to be extreme. It's like, we don't have to go on a crash diet. We don't have to suddenly start running marathons. If today, instead of doing no exercise, I walk around the block, that's amazing, right? That's Kaizen, like small doable steps that we can repeat and allow us to get towards our goals. Right. Yeah, the horror of working yourself to death. Oh my gosh. Listen, and we have these beliefs in our subconscious, folks. We have these beliefs. And, some of it, these were our parents and our grandparents' experiences. We come by them honestly. It's okay. It's not a problem that they're there. What we want to do is become aware of it and unpack the things and transform them energetically that aren't aligning with us getting to where we desire. And so here's an open-ended question. What if money flows effortlessly directly into my bank accounts? What if it did? That's great. I love personally the energy of more than enough. I am crazy. Like anyone who knows me knows that I love the energy of more than enough. Whatever it is. I have more than enough money. I have more than enough clients. I have more than enough energy. I have more than enough patience. There's more than enough sunshine outside. I have more than enough times that my cats ask me for food in the day. What more than enough is an incredible energy. When you believe that you live in an unlimited universe, it activates people who think we live in a limited universe. We can all live in an abundant way. We can all, what would it be like if we all lived with more than enough everything? Love, more than enough understanding and compassion, more than enough kindness from the people around us. I love the energy of more than enough. We're not talking about it now. I'm just bringing it up because it seems to relate, right? What if we had more than enough success, but in a balanced way, so that we could have more than enough enjoyment of our life, right? Wellspring Live is noon Eastern time on Fridays, and they happen in the Facebook group, and we can also put a link in. I don't know if you have those links there, Lacey, in your master document, but the link to the Wellspring Live, because we also do them on Zoom, and you can, if you sign up and you have the Zoom link, and you can also get reminders. But thanks for asking about that. All right. Open-ended book by me. Maybe I've got about 4 or 5 other ones. The one that my goal is to finish writing this year is The Art of Channeling. And that's my big goal for the year, is finally get the channeling book out into the world. All right. Now, let's get ready to get into the Akashic records of our business. So we want to talk about this for a moment first. All right. Because yesterday you had your introduction to the Akashic records, an initial experience. All right. And today we're going to take it a step further into your business's Akashic records. Okay. So Lacey doesn't have it. We'll get it to everyone. Don't worry about it. Okay. You created your business, but your business is not yours. It's not you. I want you to think about that. Like, if your business has your name in it, which my business right now, it's in transition, but my new business is going to be called Holly Hawkins, and that's my name. But my business is absolutely not me. When you created your business, you literally energetically birthed a separate being from you. Okay, giving everyone a second to just allow that to sink in. But here are some of the benefits of learning to talk with your business in the Akashic records. You want to learn how to interact with the energy of your business, because your business right now is your silent business partner. And it's silent because you haven't asked it for anything yet. You've been dragging it along, carrying all the weight of what's happening in your business on your own. But the truth is, your business has wisdom, input, guidance, and support for you. I am in the Akashic records of my business all the time. I have had mind-blowing experiences, and again, from really basic information, like years ago, telling me when I went into the Akashic records of the business, I wanted some like really amazing, juicy, sophisticated thing, a way to market something. And you know what my business said back to me? You take too long booking your sessions. And I'm not kidding you. That's literally what it said. And they said, and it was laid out for me. People had to call me or send me an email. I had to get back to them. We had to go back and forth about time. And then we had to go back and forth about how they were going to pay, because nothing was really automated. And the way it was shown to me was it might have taken 2 or sometimes more hours for every hour I actually did a session with somebody. And I went, oh my gosh, that this is right. So that's really practical, isn't it? Like I wanted something really sexy and creative and fun about a marketing thing. And I got like, you know what, you'd free up a lot of hours in your week to do a lot more if you just booked your sessions differently. And I made that, well, I made it, and my husband at the time made that happen. And it made a huge difference. So your business has advice for you and you're not asking. Why? Because you probably didn't know you could. And so communicating with your business and energetically aligning is so helpful. Now, listen, I know you birthed your business. Your business is not going to tell you to turn left when your vision is saying to turn to the right. It always is this co-creation, okay? But you can learn that your business is there to support you if you'll allow it. You can run business decisions by, I always do. If I have a new opportunity, somebody came like, do you want to do this thing? I go into the records. I don't usually just say yes on the spot. I'll say, you know, I just want to think about it for a little bit. I'll get back to you in a couple of days. You know what's happening in that? Just think about it for a little bit and I'll get back to you in a couple of days. I've gone into the Akashic Records of the business. Is this the right thing? Is this aligned with the vision? Is this going to take us closer towards that vision or not? And when you learn to work with the energy of your business, you develop confidence and clarity. Okay. So, all right, so I'll get to some of these questions in a second. All right. So here's how we open up the Akashic Records of your business. You're going to use your business name as it is formally. Okay. So, you know, if you have an incorporated or if you have an LLC, you want to use that formal name. Okay. Now, if you don't have a formal business yet, when we go into the Akashic Records, you're going to go into your personal records for right now. All right. But we're still going to go through it with your focus on your business potential. Then once you have formally started your business, like you're getting it going and whatever, maybe you've registered it with your city, maybe you secured your domain name, maybe you're receiving money from people, however you feel like I've started my business now, then you can open up the Akashic Records of your business. Now, if you have a business that's collectively owned, maybe there are 3 or 4 people who own a business together, you should be having permission from the other owners as well. Now, if you're a solopreneur like I am, you're going to give yourself permission, right? And so you don't need to ask anyone else. All right. So, you know, people say, well, does it really need to be everyone? Make sure it's more people than not. Like if you have 5 people who own a business together, make sure 3 of them at least are saying yes. Now, people say, but they don't understand the Akashic Records. Just tell them you want to look at the energy of the business. Okay. And they don't need to be there with you. You just need to have them say yes. Now, the way we're going to do this is with the similar invocation that we used yesterday, but it's on the second page. The second page. So go to page 7, page 8 in your workbook. And Lacey, in a second, maybe Lacey, you could put it up right now. We just want to look at this opening invocation for others. Now, as you'll see, a lot of it is the same. Lacey's version of it, which is not in your workbook this way, has some different colors in it, and it's just highlighting where it's slightly different. Okay, so you'll notice that I fully and completely open to the true source that flows through every aspect of all that is. That's the same opening line. That's what we say every single time because it's for us, the person who's opening the records. I'm fully and completely opening to true source that is flowing through every aspect of all that is. I'm acknowledging that and I'm opening to all of that. Now, the second line there is different than when you open it for yourself. You say the Akashic Records are opening on behalf of, and there it says full legal name. When you're opening your business, that's where you say your business's name. If you are opening it for another person, you'd put their name in there, but that's a different subject than what we're covering today, okay? And then we go on to, together we trust our connection to divine source and know that the love, light, and truth of who. Now, where it says first name, if you just say, you can say my business, or you can say your whole business name again. It doesn't matter. Okay. And when we get to the pronouns, you'll probably say its experience, its understandings remain unbroken and everlasting. Okay. So those are just really minor changes to make it so that we're opening the Akashic Records for our business when we put the business name in. Super easy, not complex, and not radically different than what we were doing before. All right. So this is what we're going to do now, is I'm going to take you on a guided Akashic Records experience into your business. Now, I'm going to say this again. If you have a business, read this invocation, the back page or the second page in your workbook. If you don't have a business yet, go to the side we used yesterday and open your personal records. Okay? You're still going to go through and you're still going to connect with your soul guidance team, but it'll be just slightly different because your business hasn't started, but you can still absolutely get value from this. Now, let me just talk a little bit about the soul guidance team relative to your business. When you go into the Akashic Records of your business, guess what? They're not your records. They might feel different. As you tune in, when I'm guiding you through this process, tune into the soul guidance team of your business's records, they're likely to feel different. So don't get surprised or thrown off by that. You're in a different set of records. All right. So that can be quite fun. I just don't want you to be surprised and think maybe you're in the wrong place. All right. So this is what we're going to do now. Now I'm going to be reading out loud the second page as if we're reading it to open a business. So if you're reading it for yourself personally, just go, if you need to plug your ears, if my voice is distracting you, just do what you need to do to just focus and open the records for yourself by reading the other side. Yeah, so what if I had clients but not a corporation, just my name? That's fine. Just use your name then. Because my business now is my name, I just say Holly Hawkins, the business, just because that's what I have to do right now because I've been in transition. But your energy of intention to know that you're using your name as the business entity, your intention will take care of that. Okay. Great question. Okay. So I'm not seeing any other questions there. So let's get ready to read the invocation together, and I will take you on this guided experience. And so let's begin. I fully and completely open to the true source that flows through every aspect of all that is. The Akashic Records are opening on behalf of together, we trust our connection to divine source and know that the love, light, and truth of who is, its experiences, and its understandings remain unbroken and everlasting throughout all time, space, dimensions, and realities. Together, we ask, align, and open to Soul Guidance Team to bring forth wisdom that is held in the highest and best for all. Together we open our hearts, minds, and wills to the truth in this moment, and we trust that essence flows through every experience and commit to discovering its divine light. In the name of all that is good, sacred, true, and soul aligned, we open the sacred space with choice, clarity, and intention. And so it is. So if you're in the right place for this, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes down. Bringing your awareness inside. And it's always great to anchor into where you physically are. Feel yourself physically in your body, in your now moment. And one of the best ways to do that is to watch your breath, experience your breath. Feel the air move in through your nostrils. Feel your chest and your abdomen respond to that. And if your abdomen isn't, relax it and let it move in and out. Relax your jaw and relax your tongue. Telling yourself to relax your tongue can very quickly relax your whole body. Dropping your awareness down into the space of your heart. And allow ourselves to open up to the beautiful space of the Akashic Records of your business that we've just opened to. And as I mentioned before we got in here, it might feel very much like yours, and it might feel very different. Just notice what you feel, but the field is still the same. It's still love, compassion, and understanding. You're still immersed in a field that accepts you exactly who you are. Just allowing yourself to have that be an experience for you in whatever way, even if you're just saying, well, I'll open to that. And while you're in this space, opening to all this, open to the soul guidance team of your business that's there. Beautiful team of energetic beings. And just let's start by noticing where you might imagine them to be. You might see, sense, or imagine them in a similar place to where your own soul guidance team is. They might feel different. But just like your soul guidance team, they have that love and understanding. They hold that compassion. They hold the energies of the Akasha all the time. Now, if you're in your personal records, you're in that space of the Akasha and connecting with your personal soul guidance team. And so no matter what set of records you're in right now, I'm going to invite you to share with your soul guidance team what your dreams and your visions are, your aspirations for your business. And when I say tell them about it, you can talk to them out loud. You could write it down. You could speak to them in your head. Just begin sharing What are your dreams, your visions, and your aspirations related to your business? And I'll be quiet for a few moments as you do that. Remember, we're talking about dreams and visions. There are other times when we can talk about hard things, but right now we really want to talk about our dreams and our visions, our aspirations. If you could have it your way, what would it look like, feel like, and be like? As you do this, you might actually find yourself saying things that you weren't even aware were part of your field of dreams. As you do, you might feel some emotions. You might feel sensations in your physical body. If you do, you can describe those to the soul guidance team. And now we're going to shift gears a little bit. I know you might have more to say. You can go back and do this again if you wish later. Of course you will, but I'm going to ask you to ask your soul guidance team a direct question. And even if you feel like you're not exactly sure where they are and if they're there, just imagine that you're speaking directly with them and ask them to support you in getting a sense of what is possible for you with your business when you begin to work in collaboration with it. I'm going to say that again. Ask your soul guidance team, whether you're in your personal records or the business, what is possible for you with your business when you work in collaboration with it? Just make sure your lower abdomen is relaxed and your breathing is full. Imagine your energy field being wide open to what they have to share with you. Get a sense of what you might be feeling in your body. Maybe you're going to get a word, a phrase, feel an emotion. Really trust that you're receiving. As you're receiving, you can even anchor it by describing to yourself or writing something down what you feel or imagine or what you're experiencing as they're sharing you what's possible when you work with your business. So what we're going to do now is just take a nice breath in. Feel your body's response to that deep breath in, releasing it out. Thank the soul guidance team, whether it's your personal soul guidance team or that of your business. Thank it for being there, them being there, supporting you, sharing whatever wisdom they have and energy. And then take another breath in. Feel yourself grounding in your body, and we'll get ready to close the Akashic Records now. Thanks, Lacey. So if you could open your eyes, and whether it's in your workbook or whether it's up on the screen, let's read the closing together. Thank you to the essence of love, light, and truth that eternally supports, guides, and opens in this space and time. May be open to the transformation that comes from this soul-aligned wisdom, understanding, and truth that is eternally held in the highest and best for all. May embody and live all that it received in this moment as its new vibrational reality. We honor all the soul level teachers and guides, trusting in conscious intentional expansion into its highest potential. La'alam, Amin, Amin. So take a nice breath and maybe just stretch, move your body around in whatever way, roll your shoulders. Whew. I love to stretch afterwards. I just feel like I'm also just stretching into a bigger space, a bigger energetic space when I do that. And then if you have something, so drink, tea, water, whatever, have a sip, helping you ground. Water is such an incredible support for us processing energies, because this is not just a mind experience being in the records, it's an energetic experience. We are transforming our energy. So it's great to acknowledge that that's what happens. So if anyone gets a little tired in there, it's because your energy is moving. Yeah, it's not that it's exhausting, you're just acclimating to a new vibrational signature. So I'd love to hear what that was like for you. If what that felt like to just even interact with a different set of Akashic Records. I know that's a lot. Some of you just opened the Akashic Records for the first time yesterday. Some of you are doing just an amazing job with this. So what was that like? Unlimited, playfully, ease, adaptable, strong feeling of leadership, hot flood of energy. Wow. Supportive. Isn't it great? How many of you didn't know that you could receive support from your business? Holy smokes, right? That was a really powerful experience. I felt so uncomfortable at first, and then I opened to the work that I feel so aligned with, and all of a sudden I felt so expansive. What a shift. It was a powerful experience. The coyotes here in Joshua Tree started singing right after closing the records. So, whoops, the chat's going by. The Akashic Records are new to me yesterday, but I could really feel the difference when in there. Good for you. I feel like in the time that I've been working in the records, people access them and can work in them more easily. I think just our consciousness overall is changing. Quiet or nothing at first, but gradually the energy builds, right? My whole body feels the energy throughout. Good. The words limitless, the sky is the limit, unfold yourself and open yourself up to just being. I came to tears when we had to close. Didn't want to leave. I understand. And now you know you can go back in whenever you need to, right? Emotional, showing me my business's potential is beyond what I can imagine. Whew. Okay, that's amazing, right? It's okay if you didn't get anything. Remember, I'm going to go back to what I said yesterday. It bears repeating. What I want you to say to yourself is, my mind thinks it didn't get anything. Because that's what didn't get anything, was your mind. Your energy field definitely did. Your cognitive awareness didn't get it yet. Now, because I've had the experience, and I've even had clients report to me afterwards, after a reading, that like dots lined up later on. And I've had that experience myself where I went, okay, I got what I got. I don't know if it was enough when I was in my records today, but then throughout the day, again, dots line up, little aha moments, or I feel something different, or now I'm willing to pursue something very clearly. Trust that I really believe that you cannot go into your records without being changed and transformed. It's not possible. So you went in, you asked, there will be a receiving there, and it just may not have hit your cognitive awareness yet. Okay. So have faith in that. Anything's possible. Oh, and by the way, the more time we're in the records, this is where the practice piece comes in. The more we're feeling, the more we get. It just builds momentum the more we're in there over time. Okay. I don't mean in one day. I mean over time, the more we're in there. Okay. Supportive. I've seen my business was much bigger than my location and what I provide, although important. Seen, building community, that was intense. I felt the energy heavier, more grounded and solid. I felt the vibration in the top of my head and around my hairline instead of my third eye in my own records. That was wild. I'm just starting with these exercises and I'm new to them, not knowing what to expect. Thank you. I'm really love doing these with you, Holly. You're welcome. I loved it. Deep. Today was my first time. I got to join, didn't have time to do previous gatherings. Thank you. Beautiful. Glad you're here. Marianne and I go way back. She was my mentor when I was in my Kundalini yoga teacher training, right? Nice to see Marianne here. All right. So this is, so already, you know, the theme of this is your spiritual business unblocked. So this is another, we're going to keep going back to this. How can this help you feel unblocked? Well, how many of you knew that you could start working with your business and use it as a consultant and a support, help you get over things where you feel like you're confused, or you want to make sure that you're making a right decision for your business? You can start consulting with your business, confiding in your business, being inspired, getting practical guidance like you take too long to book your sessions. So this is what's possible for us when we start collaborating with our business. And let's see. I just felt so much love, like I have so much to give. Absolutely, absolutely. And I saw myself literally throwing open the doors to my business. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right. So wait, here we have another comment. My business soothed through the guidance. Wow. That it's okay to show up in a greater way and not be scared that I might take a little while to get the recipe right. How reassuring is that? That sounds, at least that sounds so reassuring. And heaven on earth came looking for me. Oh, I love that. I love that. So congratulations, all of you. You are doing really big work. It doesn't matter if you've had a lot of experience or you're brand new to this. This is big work. And I always think it takes courage, not because it's overly scary, but because you believe in something so much, you're willing to try something different, to find a new way. And that to me is so impressive. It is courageous to do that. There's some hope in you that says, I know it can be better. I know it can be different. I know I can make the impact. And that's what you're starting to do here now in these 5 days together. So this does bring us to the end of day number 3. This time goes by so quickly. In terms of what your little homework assignment is, or, if you're somebody who's doing the little things every single day for your action posts, that the one today is you can share what you experienced. I mean, you can share what you shared about what your dreams and your visions are. You can share what you felt like you received. Some of you, even in your own Akashic records, you can share that same thing. What did you sense? What did you feel around all of that? Okay, that's what you can do. That post is up in the Facebook group and it's action post number 3. So please put what you want to put in there in the comments, or you can send me an email directly if you're not in the Facebook group. If you're somebody who doesn't like Facebook, it's okay. You can still play. And remember, if you haven't been here the whole time or you're just catching up, and even if you're somebody who's listening to the replay, you're not missing out. You have until February 26th to do all these and get them all in. That's when they're being tallied on Monday, the 27th. So the 26th at night on the West Coast is when the curtain goes down on it. So you have until then. You have plenty of time to watch the replays, maybe even try any of these experiences again and keep going with them. These things are good to do all the time. None of these experiences that we're doing here are one and dones. They're things that we want to keep doing all the time to stay in alignment with all of that. So I wanted to address one question. I think I saw it in the Zoom. Somebody asked, what if I have a business that's wait, I'm almost there. What if I have a dormant art business? Okay, so if you have a business that's dormant, I would probably start in your personal records right now and talk to your soul guidance team and say, hey, I'm ready to get this thing going again. And start getting some wisdom and advice around that. That would be my suggestion for you. If it literally still has a business name, if you're still have a registered business somehow, you could try opening up the records of that. If it's maybe just quiet and not completely fallen off the charts. Play with it though. Play with where you feel the greatest movement. If it's just quiet because you haven't done anything with it for a certain amount of time, open up the business records and see if it feels like something's there. If not, go in your own records. That would be my suggestion around that. Just checking up. Oh, you're so welcome, everyone. Thank you all for the thank yous. I appreciate it. Let's see. I believe the experiences and practices here helped me connect with a new client earlier today. How about that? That's called energy shifts, right? That's what you're here for. Let's shift the energy and open it up. So you're all so welcome. Let's just see, what else did I miss? How many business owners can sit in the session of their business? I have done, I've opened the Akashic, oh my gosh, that brings back a memory. I've opened the Akashic records of a business where I didn't know I was meeting with all the people in the entire business. Now, it wasn't a huge business. It was like a, what was it? Like a physical therapy healing type business. And I met with this person on Zoom and I opened up to a room full of people, maybe 10. Now, here's what I do in that situation. Like if you are part of a business and there are a group of people there, that's okay. If I'm doing a session with somebody, I want one person to do most of the talking. I don't want to talk to all 10 of them in one session. They had all their questions together before they came on. So if there's a group of people that own a business together, they can all be present. It just makes it easier if you're only talking to and receiving questions from one person, but that's just up to you to figure out as you get adept at working in the records. So thank you all so much. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to talk about Kaizen, small doable steps, because that's how we get past our blocks. What's the next step? What are the small doable steps? And I'm going to give you some ways to actively, easily work with that concept using the Akashic Records for forward progress in your business. All right. Love you all. Thanks for putting up with all the tech stuff tonight. I'm so sorry. Lacey and I are going to have to figure out what's going to happen to the videos. We'll let you know. Okay. Love to you all. Bye-bye.